There's a crack forming underneath the entire crypto market, and almost no one is talking about it. Not the headlines, not the analysts, and definitely not the influencers telling you to just buy the dip. Because the real problem isn't the price you see on the screen, it's the pressure building beneath it. For the first time in years, three forces are pushing against each other at the exact same moment, and together they're putting the entire ecosystem under stress. On one side, collapsing confidence, extreme fear, and investors quietly exiting positions they once swore they'd never sell. On another, massive shifts in institutional flows, market makers facing hidden deficits, and long-dormant Bitcoin suddenly moving again. And underneath all of that, a psychological breaking point forming across everyday investors. Most people think the market is just cooling off, but what's happening right now goes far deeper than price. This is structural. This is systemic. And today, we're breaking down exactly what's really going on, in a way anyone can understand. Let's start with the clearest signal that something is fundamentally wrong. The fear and greed index collapsing to extreme fear. Not mild fear, not correction level fear. The lowest emotional reading since the major collapses of the past decade. When the index hits 11, that's not the market breathing. That's the market trembling. Every time we've seen sentiment drop this low, something underneath was breaking. Leverage unwinding, exchanges failing, liquidity thinning, or long-term holders capitulating. Today, it's a mix of all four. Crypto isn't crashing because of one event. It's cracking because several stress points are aligning at once. Macro pressure, liquidity pressure, and psychological pressure. Now let's talk about the next major stress point, institutional outflows. For months, people believed spot ETFs would stabilize crypto, but reality just proved the opposite. Billions have quietly flowed out of Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Even the largest and most respected issuers, the ones once seen as untouchable, are showing signs of stress. When institutional capital leaves, it doesn't just reduce buying pressure. It removes the foundation the market was built on. It's like pulling concrete out from under a skyscraper. And then came the part almost no one expected. Market makers, the firms responsible for maintaining liquidity, facing deficits. You don't see liquidity thinning on a chart. You feel it. In slippage, in volatility, in sudden drops that shouldn't happen. When the middlemen in the market start cracking, everything built on top becomes unstable. But the biggest psychological shock didn't come from institutions. It came from the ghosts of crypto's past, Mt. Gox. For the first time in months, a massive batch of Bitcoin, untouched for years, suddenly moved. Tens of thousands of coins, belonging to one of the most infamous bankrupt exchanges in history, were transferred to a new address. We don't even need them to be sold for the market to panic. Just the movement was enough to rattle confidence. Imagine millions of investors around the world seeing ancient, radioactive Bitcoin come back online like a zombie waking up. It doesn't matter what the official explanation is. Fear doesn't wait for facts. The market reacts long before the truth arrives. And here's something the public rarely sees. Even the biggest, most legendary traders are getting crushed. One of the most well-known on-chain traders, nicknamed the anti-CZ whale, has taken staggering losses. This is a trader who made tens of millions betting against hype-driven pumps, someone the community treated like a market superhero. Today, massive unrealized losses, positions underwater, profit wiped out in weeks. When whales start bleeding, you know something deeper is happening. Not panic selling, not manipulation, a structural shift. Smart money losing confidence is one of the clearest red flags a market can show. Yet while retail investors panic and institutions pull back, one player is doing the exact opposite. A sovereign nation, El Salvador. While fear dominates the entire crypto market, El Salvador doubled down, accumulating more Bitcoin and expanding its national reserve. To many investors, this looks reckless. To others, it looks strategic. Either way, it sends a powerful message. Even during the harshest market periods, someone is confident enough, or bold enough, to treat fear as opportunity. Retail sells panic. Nations buy conviction. It's a strange moment when a government looks braver than the average investor. So why does the market feel different right now? Why does every bounce feel weaker and every drop feel sharper? Because this isn't just a price correction, it's a confidence correction. For years, crypto grew on three pillars: belief, liquidity, and momentum. Right now, all three are under pressure. Belief is shaken, liquidity is draining, momentum is reversing, and when all three weaken together, volatility stops being a feature and becomes a warning. So, is this the bottom? Here's the truth: no one knows. Anyone claiming certainty is lying. Could this be a generational buying opportunity? Absolutely. Could the market still fall lower? Without a doubt. Crypto bottoms are never clean. They are messy, emotional, chaotic, filled with fear, misinformation, and conflicting narratives. But historically, the moments of deepest panic were also the moments right before recovery. The only question is, which side of that history are we in right now? We'll only know in hindsight. Despite the fear, something fascinating is happening beneath the chaos. Innovation hasn't slowed down. If anything, it's accelerating. AI agents are entering crypto, new financial models are emerging, new networks are scaling, and nations are experimenting with sovereign digital reserves. Price goes down, but development goes up. That disconnect between fear and progress is one of the clearest signals that volatility isn't the end. It's the reset, a painful one, but one that often clears the way for the next phase of growth. The market is shaking, confidence is fading, stress points are appearing everywhere. But every cycle has a moment like this, the moment when things look the darkest, the most uncertain, and the most uncomfortable. Because that's when investors stop focusing on hype and start focusing on truth. And if you want to understand where this market is really going, not just next week, but over the next decade, stick around. Things are about to get even more interesting.